Dissident Broadsheet, Volume 1, Issue 1. This issue, Serco and the Affordable Care Act. The facts. Serco was founded in 1929 as RCA Services Limited, and by the early 1960s, RCA had won a UK ballistic missile warning system contract. After an ownership change in the late 80s, RCA Services Limited became known as Serco Limited and continued to expand worldwide. They currently claim approximately $32 billion worth of outstanding contracts. What contracts, you ask? Across the globe you can find Serco, as they own many traffic management contracts. They are also the single largest air traffic controller in the world. If you have flown in an airplane, you have almost assuredly flown through their airspace. Scientists? Serco has you covered. They claim to employ 5,000 of them. And who better to outsource public education to? Serco, duh. But wait, there's more. Want to travel through London on a train that has no driver? Serco has you covered yet again with their driverless train contracts. Does your community have rapists, murderers, and thieves? Serco will be more than happy to keep an eye on them for a fee. They also hold both US and UK defense contracts. Oh, and healthcare. That's right, Serco is to the rescue, holding many UK National Health Service contracts. So what's the problem? Well, Serco has quietly made its way back across the pond to capitalism's flagship nation. And given the results, every crony capitalist in the world ought to have tears welling up in their eyes. Back in their sort of home country, Serco has been awash in scandal for overcharging on contracts. In particular, charging UK taxpayers for monitoring prisoners that were dead and or did not exist. And that isn't even their most novel scheme. What does a toilet have to do with prison overcrowding? As far as Serco is concerned, a toilet is the perfect place for a bed to cover, and increase jail cell capacity from 2 to 3 guests. And then there's the small matter of massive abuse allegations in their Australian juvenile detention centers. So what the hell does all of this have to do with the Affordable Care Act? Well, while Republicans and Democrats were busy grandstanding about the merits and terrors of Obamacare, the U.S. government was handing out contracts to run the new system, and of course Serco was more than happy to be a part of it. The results shouldn't surprise you. What may surprise you is that the partisan shills at Fox News and the Huffington Post actually agree on them. In May of 2014 in Missouri, an anonymous Serco employee blew the whistle on how a $1.2 billion healthcare data processing contract to hire 1,500 people is currently being used to employ them to do almost literally nothing. It was also the whistleblower's understanding that Serco is compensated for every new hire. As of this broadcast, they were reportedly still hiring. So what's one to make of Serco? There are some that believe it is evil incarnate, hell-bent on taking over the world and should be renamed Serpent Co. Some would call it a damning indictment of capitalist outsourcing, although it seems apparent to me that it is a glaring example of crony capitalism. It seems to bolster the little-made argument that the Affordable Care Act traded one set of healthcare management problems for a slightly different set and really didn't fix or change anything. But I digress. At best, Serco is a bloated and incompetent megacorp, and at worst, they are a means for their mega-rich shareholders to suck off the government teat. Is Serco an evil multinational conglomerate hell-bent on taking over the world? I feel confident in answering that question with a resounding no. But, if you were a James Bond villain who had aspirations to, purchasing a controlling interest in Serco would be an excellent place to start. Dissident Broadsheet thanks you for watching and is grateful for the excellent resources that Wikimedia Commons and Apache OpenOffice provide.